War Machine went from on reveal to ongoing ability and has the Marvel Snap community going nuts. Let's dive right into a match to see why. So on turn 1, we go with the Destroyed Mansion, which feeds you a rock and a Vibranium. So on this one, I decided to play Squirrel Girl to spread 2 squirrels in the other locations. Aunt May is the second location, which the first card you play there gets +3 and is moved to a separate location. I decided to play Vibranium on the right, and he plays Psylocke. Wakanda Embassy is played, which is going to give +2 power to all the cards in your hand. But I decided to go a Marvel Boy for turn 3, move Aunt May to the right. Iron Lad is played to the left, and boom, he copies Galactus, and we're sent flying into the orbit on Aunt May's, destroying all the cards. So I have Squirrel Girl, so they have priority, and looking pretty tough. I go to check to see if this is an Airshim deck, so I go ahead and play War Machine because I need power, and they play Gwenpool, which is gonna buff 3 random cards +2. Can't really use the ability, but it's +9 right now, so I go with that. On turn 5, I decide to play Legion, and he plays Symbiote Spider-Man, which is the new activate card. But right now I'm trying to vie for power. Now, due to War Machine's ongoing ability, the restriction placed on Infinite has been removed, so I snap. I see the opportunity here to increase my power to 20 to 40, and hopefully they don't have enough power to match or beat me. They play Vibranium that was boosted, and I laid down the Infinite to take the 4 cubes. And thanks to War Machine and Infinite, we were able to take advantage. So as you can see, War Machine has now become the snap condition in this deck because it removes the restriction on cards like Ebony Maw and Infinite and gives you access to locations that have restrictions to your opponent. So if you see this combo in your hand, this gives you good confidence to snap. Alioth here is a great tech card to steal cubes from because it negates the ability of your opponent's card if you have priority. Let me show you. Alright, so this match is against a Living Tribunal deck. Turn 1, don't see anything I can really play, but turn 2 looks promising with either Pixie or Madam Web, which is the new card that came out this week. And I go for Pixie. Now, Pixie's going to randomize the cost of each card in my deck. And Mora Island is on revealed. So now she's going to get +1 every turn. Camp Lehi is going to give me a random 3 drop, which is Ghost. Ghost is ongoing ability, lets your card be revealed last. So I want to be able to move my cards. So I play Madam Web on Mirror Island and Nebula on Camp Lehi. Also, X-Mansion is about to give me a card. They play Magic, so now we're going from a 6-turn game into a 7-turn game. X-Mansion gives us both the card and moves Nebula from Limbo now over to X-Mansion because I have a Ghost Spider. And my opponent, they get Alioth, which is more power. So turn 4, I go ahead and play War Machine because I want to be able to use Infinite and Ebony Maw because they're not in my hand yet. And my opponent decides to play Jubilee, which brings Sarah, who's going to reduce all the cost by 1 energy for his cards. Okay, so my opponent snaps. It's turn 5. As you can see by the floating cards, I can move either Pixie or War Machine either to the left or the right. I'm going to go ahead and play Captain Marvel because I want her to start receiving the boost from Mirror Island every turn. And I go ahead and snap because I have Alioth in hand. And maybe I can play a little trick with Legion and flip this back to a turn 6 game. They play Super Scroll, so it's going to take or copy my Madam Web and War Machine. And they also play Mystique. So now the location on the left and the center for my opponent, they'll be able to move around. Due to Pixie's ability, I have a Ebony Maw that's a 3-drop right now. And I'm looking at this Ghost Spider because I want to be able to spread power. So I play Ghost Spider on Limbo. I decided to move. Oh, no, never mind. I decided to move War Machine to the right and bring out Ebony Maw because I know he won't be in Shang-Chi range, but is going to give a little bit of power. They decide to move Alioth to the middle and take out Jubilee. And Azabu is revealed. And a Living Tribunal. So Living Tribunal spreads the power to all 3 locations for my opponent. And the Zabu is going to reduce the cost of all their 4 energy cards. Plus the Sarah, so we're looking at 2. This is the key part of the game. If you take a look, Infinite is a 1-cost card. So that's an instant. My opponent won't see this coming. So I decide to play Infinite on X Mansion. And I have a sneaky suspicion on the right here that my opponent is going to play something with Onslaught. I don't know why. I'm maybe picturing Iron Man or something of that nature, but that's my suspicion. So I play Alioth because I have priority, and I want to take that ability away. So let's see what happens. Alright, so Nebula is getting +2 on the left. Alioth takes away the text from the unrevealed cards. Infinite on the left. And it was a Mr. Fantastic and an Onslaught. Oh. And we steal the game, the cubes, and all 3 locations due to Alioth's unrevealability, making him one of your snap conditions for this deck. Pixie causes chaos with her unrevealability to randomize the cost of all your cards in your deck, which can create some fun scenarios for you and potentially steal cubes because of the randomization. That's why I like her for the ability to build tempo and momentum, because you never know what you're going to get, like a 1-cost Infinite. Last but not least, here are the tech cards that I tend to look for, and each serve its own purpose. Storm and Legion control locations. Alioth, as previously mentioned, negates the ability of your opponents. Madam Web for this deck helps move and protect your cards. Let's get into the last match to show you. We start off the match with the White Palace revealed, so they get a copy of my Alioth, and I get a copy of their Sage, so that we're going to get +2 for each unique power played in that location that she's played at. So I decided to start the match with Nebula to the right. Great Web is played in the middle, and Madam Web is perfect for this because her ongoing ability is going to allow me to move cards if I need to. And my opponent decides to play Ravonna Renslayer, and my Nebula moves to the Great Web. The Superflow is revealed, and I get +1 because I don't have any cards there. So I decide to play War Machine in the Great Web. As you can see, the floating Nebula, which means I can move it to another location. They play Mr. Negative, which flips the power and the energy of the cards in his deck. So that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind. So I have Infinite in hand, so his restrictions removed due to War Machine. So I decide to play Marvel Boy and Pixie. Remember, Pixie randomizes the cost of all the cards in my deck, and Marvel Boy is going to start boosting Nebula and any other up to 2 other 1-drops +1. They play Magic. We're going to 7 turns. Right now, my hand doesn't look the best, so I'm trying to decide. The Squirrel Girl is a 5 energy cost. I could play Alioth. Infinite is available, but this hand is tough. I can also move some cards, either the Nebula, War Machine, or the Pixie. So I decide to move War Machine and go ahead and dominate the Infinite because I know I can move it if need be. So they play a Wong. on the left, and Iron Man is in the middle. So I have to be careful because Iron Man is going to double the power in the location. I'm still receiving +1 from Superflow because I don't have that location filled. My gut tells me that I need to play Alioth now. So that's what I decide to do. Nebula receives +2 for no one playing into that location. I play Alioth, removes that ability. My opponent plays Jane Foster because she's trying to bring out all the 0 cost. And I negate the Cassandra Nova, which would have reduced my deck's power by 1. And that's key. So, thanks to White Palace, I think I might have a shot at winning this. So I play Sage on the left, and I play Captain Marvel on the right. So I play the Sage, and she gets +8. But they play Sage, and because of Wong, she does her ability twice, and the Taskmaster copies, but I still win into Steel Cubes. That's going to do it for this video.